All right, folks, our next guest is a former NBA player, current GOP candidate for the United States Senate, and the host of the Royce White Show right here on Real America's Voice. Happy to have Royce White with us. Royce, good to have you, my friend. We'll get into your Senate run. This is really fascinating. Such an important. It would be amazing to get a GOP senator or a conservative senator in the state of Minnesota. Fingers crossed. But let's talk a little bit about the Schumer shutdown. I mean, Chuck Schumer is on the hot seat, but they keep deflecting. They got Hakeem Jeffries and Schumer out there pointing the finger at Trump. All they have to do is move 5 U.S. senators over from the Democrats, reopen the government. They don't even have to take. Schumer could say, I'm against this, but 5 went, and guess what? The government's open. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are the progressive wing of the Democrat Party has all but captured the Democrat Party, and even your middle of the row, who they play like they're middle of the row. I don't really view them as middle of the row, but who used to be middle of the row is being held captive by the progressive wing of the party and making demands that aren't realistic.
So unrealistic. They have Trump derangement syndrome. You know what the really strange thing is, Royce? I remember going through this, the Health Care Act, the Obamacare Act, in 2009 or so. Democrats put this whole thing together. And you know what they did? They said in 2025, at the end of 2025, the healthcare, this payment for Medicare and Medicaid expires. It sunsets. This is their wording. Conservatives were against the whole darn thing. And somehow now they're still trying to blame Republicans, mostly blame Trump.
Yeah, I mean, they'll lie. And that's what we're up against. I think that the conservative movement and the MAGA movement and the America First movement and all your libertarians, any Christians, anybody that's out there that has any remembrance of a normal has to stop messing around and understand that these people will outright lie. They have no equivocation about lying to the American people, lying to the opposition, lying to the other side of the aisle, lying to themselves. They lie to themselves. So, we have to find a way, I think, to muster up the courage to play hardball with these people once and for all. And
so you're running for U.S. Senate in the state of Minnesota. Klobuchar isn't the one. Tina Smith, I believe, is the one who said she's not going to run, and that's the
Tina Smith, right?
You're looking at, Bryce. Tell us, number one, why did you decide to run? Who else is in this race, on both sides, really, that you would say would be competition for you?
Well, I ran against Amy Klobuchar in 2024, and we gained about 5 or 6 points. She's one of the most well-funded Democrats in the entire country, also one of the most radical. We flipped 27 counties, which is a sign that the greater Minnesota is swinging towards not only MAGA, but somebody who's regarded as an extreme MAGA candidate. I don't think I'm that extreme. I say all the time on the show, we're not the far right. We're just right. But that was a good sign. And I had very minimal support from people like the NRSC and other, conservative Republican institutions around the country, many of which have sold us out just as bad as the Democrats have in many respects. So there was only one, option was to turn the campaign around and run again for Tina's seat. I didn't know that she was going to resign and it would be an open race, which bodes well for me and the rest of the Republican Party here in Minnesota. Peggy Flanagan, who is currently our lieutenant governor under Tampon Tim, is considered to be the front runner for the Democrat side. Also, Angie Craig, who just got an endorsement from transgender House Rep Sarah McBride. I don't even know what his real name is, but so there's going to be a primary. There's going to be a primary on the Democrat side, and the internal polls from Peggy Flanagan's campaign say that the generic Republican is only 2 points behind in their projections. So Minnesota officially a swing state by the Democrats' own measure, and we're in a great position to do something special.
Let's point that out as a very important comment you just made there. The generic GOP candidate is only 2 points behind whoever Peggy Flanagan or Mr. McBride or Mrs. whatever the heck they are. That's amazing because you're a very popular person. You're a former NBA player, conservative, African-American. these are the types of things that really open that seat up where you got a legit chance. And I just a little piece of advice, Pete Hegseth's a good friend also from the state of Minnesota. Might not be a bad idea to grab an endorsement from him real quick, if you know what I'm talking about. And if you need to, if you need to call him, I got a cell phone number. I used to work with him for a dozen years at Fox. But this is great. This is really, really important that you could, because Minnesota, honestly, man, from doing this a long time, has just slid into the abyss. You have Ilhan Omar, you got that lunatic that was running for mayor. The Somali I don't even think he speaks English.
Omar Fateh.
Yeah. Fateh. And the Tampon Tim, as you point out, it's become everything that progressive liberals represent. Man, it would be nice to fire some fresh blood into that, some conservative blood.
Yeah, no, we call it the belly of the beast for a reason. Minnesota is like ground zero for the radical Democrat agenda. And, it's going to be an interesting race. I think for the first time, and again, in Minnesota, we voted for the Democrat candidate in the presidential election 13 consecutive times. So Minnesota has been firmly blue for the presidential for 13 years. This will be going on 14 if we do it again in 2028. I think for the first time, we're going to be able to appeal to the people of Minnesota and say, can we just try something different? I mean, do you remember a time when you didn't have to worry about men being thrown in women's prison? Do you even think that's remotely appropriate or reasonable? I think we're going to be able to make that appeal now, and I think Omar Fateh and some of his radical things in the mayor race are going to help. I mean, you already see down in Minneapolis, the liberal elites are backing his opponent, Jacob Fry, because the crime is out of control and it's a stone's throw from where they live around Lake of the Isles, Calhoun, Kenwood. So, Minnesota's changing, and hopefully by the time 2026 rolls around, we'll be able to lead a MAGA wave here in Minnesota. And again, I don't think that we're far right. I don't think that we're extreme. It's not extreme to say we want a border. It's not extreme to let President Trump do what he's doing with the tariffs and all of the good things happening with the economy. It's not extreme to end wars. None of these. It's not extreme to say we want women's sports to be women's sports. None of those things seem extreme. They've kind of gaslit us into believing that. So hopefully Minnesota is gonna see some change here.
Great. Have you filed yet? Have you filed the paperwork? And you can declare.
Oh yeah,
okay,
I filed.
Good.
I filed a year ago. Right away. I filed right away.
Good. Royce, while I have you, just a couple of minutes or so, can you just weigh in on this? I believe it's a multi-tiered, multi-onion layered scandal. The NBA players, the coach, they get involved with. It's almost a movie script, right? Get involved with the mafia, the mob, La Cosa Nostra, and they were bringing in whales, and they'd sit at the table just so they could sit with NBA players to play poker. And then they had the tables jacked. They had glasses on that could read cards. They had contact lenses that could read cards. They had automatic shufflers that were pulling out the cards that they wanted not in the game. Amazing. Your thoughts on it? It's got to be bigger than just a couple of players, right?
That wouldn't shock me. No, that wouldn't shock me at all. I think, first of all, shaving points and it's just one of the most un-American things you could do, bottom line. And the integrity of our sports has to mean something. It's long since been, that our sports and professional sports specifically had any greater societal integrity anyway. I mean, the woke agenda has basically ransacked professional sports. Now you're starting to see people pull back. For the first time, athletes are stepping out and saying, hey, we support President Trump. We believe in Jesus. We're willing to talk about our conservative values. So that's swinging in the right direction from the athlete standpoint. In the NBA, it's a strange dynamic, because the cultural consensus in the black community is still that the Democrat Party has our best interests at heart, although that's changing as well. But it's strange to see, players, coaches, anybody who is getting paid as much as they're getting paid be involved in something like this. The American Cosa Nostra we thought was all but dead. Seems like they're still thriving in the shadows there and starting to make a comeback. I hope that it's contained to a few people. But it wouldn't shock me if it was widespread as well.
And I think basketball the NBA, basketball, college, and pro is probably I would say the easiest place to shave points. Again, part of the scandal was high-level poker games, and part of the scandal was leaking information, shaving points to some of the betting sites so they can move lines accordingly, all screwing the viewer, for one, and also the bettor, the gambler like me, which just has such a bad taste. Probably easiest to do in the NBA versus some of the other sports, team sports, because there's so much more. But you get a key player who wants to, I don't miss a shot here and there. But it's a lot easier than to, try and hit a home run really hard. You know what I'm saying? So I just wonder if it's going to end up in other sports as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes, the NBA and basketball is very easy to rig in some respects, or much easier than other sports. And I think that there has to be a conversation about the proliferation of gambling across all professional sports. I'm not one to be, in huge favor of it, although I don't think it should be illegal either. But the NBA has to do a better job of a bunch of things. Number one, the overall integrity of their institution is deeply in question, and a lot of these things are moral hazard, right?
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but
it's hard to pull it in.
They're really good at making sure no one's juicing, right? So, and if they're that aggressive, making sure no one's using performance-enhancing drugs, maybe they should be just as concerned about whether they're shaving points, faking injuries, doing things that could actually also affect the outcome of games as well. Royce, I got to jump, my friend, but can you just tell the folks? Watch that man right there. I just have a really good feeling about you in the Minnesota race. But in the meantime, you can always catch Royce on the Royce White Show right here on Real America's Voice, Saturdays 9 a.m. and again at 4 p.m. Royce, really good to meet you for the first time. I wish you very, very much luck, and we'll get you back on and talk about a lot of other stuff as we move forward.
Thanks, brother. God bless you, man.
And you as well. All right, folks, we'll be right back.